Finally, my opinion has arrived.
Hey guys, so today we're going to jump into a tier list video. This is going to be not a top 10, it's going to be a tier list just because I think this is a more appropriate way to take a look at the current meta environment. I think there's a lot of viable characters, a lot of viable teams, and this is a better way, I think, a better snapshot of what currently exists in the game. But
I haven't seen
we
this
are going to be
very
switching
much at
things
all,
up a little bit
by
this
the
time. I'm
way.
going to be trying something a bit different. You guys can let us know down below in the comments how you like this approach to doing the tier lists. I'm actually joined by Ryuden here.
Hello.
And what
that
we're
the
going to do
Super Saiyan
is
2
we're actually
guy?
going to be doing a joint
Heard
tier
about
list, but he's going to have his own list separate from mine. So we're going to talk about the characters at the same time. I am going to put the characters on my list, and he's going to put the characters on his list. So by the end of this, we're going to have two distinct lists. He's going to have his list, I'm going to have my list, and that's kind of how we're going to do this. It's going to be two different lists, but we're going to talk about the units at the same time and kind of come to a consensus or not on how we think each character is performing right now. And this is part one.
Interesting way to do it.
We'll do half the characters on this part.
Oh.
And then Rye will do
I'll be
the
watching
second half
just this
on
one
his
because,
channel.
you know,
So
That's a lot. That's a
something
lot
different,
to watch.
but hopefully this is a bit more interesting and spices things up a little bit because, you know, doing tier list after tier list after top 10 after top 10 for years becomes a little bit monotonous. So let's change
they're
things up a
great
little bit.
times. They're fun
So,
times. When you
The way
rage
we're
bait
going to do
them,
this
which
is
most do.
we're going to alternate picking characters. Now, we're only going to do meta-relevant characters, the way that we think the meta is shaped right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to choose from pretty much any relevant Legends Limited character, Ultra character, or if there's any Sparkings, or maybe there's Extremes you think are relevant. I don't know, maybe you use Extremes.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, for sure. Extremes.
I'll start. I'll pick a Legends Limited character to start with, and I'm gonna
Remember?
pick one that I think this one might be a little bit more controversial than some of the others. I'm gonna pick Blue UI Goku to start with. What do you think about Blue UI Goku?
Blue UI.
So this isn't a top
Goku.
10. So what are the tiers here? What is this? Z, S, A, B, C. Blue UI? I mean, A, B,
So, where is
high,
this man
B,
in this
low A.
list? Oh, okay.
Second row, yeah.
Okay, so should
mean,
it
at
be that
best.
we just straight up announce it, or do we just place it first and then we say it? What do you think?
Well, okay. I think this is what we should do. So you could put the character where you think they are going to be, and then like as we talk about other characters, you can kind of rearrange and move characters around if you think that's what you should do.
I'm curious the initial
Okay,
thought.
I'm not gonna put them in a specific order. It's not like, oh, you know, first character in S is better than the fifth character in S. It's sort of like a general ballpark of how I feel they run in the
Would he
game.
be S?
Yeah, my UI Goku went all the way down to the bottom. Okay, here we go. Actually, UI Goku is, I think he's good. I actually am
High
not sure if
B,
I'm going to put him in S
low
or
A.
A. So we have
S.
5 tiers here. We have Z, S, A, B, and
That's
C.
hot.
I like UI Goku a lot. He's really the only like hyper powerful offense. I wouldn't even know if I'd call him hyper powerful offensive character, but he is the strongest offensive blue unit we have right now, pretty much.
Yes,
The bar is
that
so
is
low
what's.
because
I
there's
actually
nobody else.
have him in S for that reason.
Okay,
Right now,
yeah.
the meta desperately needs a powerful blue unit, and MUI Goku.
Just to obviously point out, Blue UI is he's a Super Gogeta victim. I mean, a lot of units are, but like specifically because the nullify endurance, every single entry 10 counts. What do you do when you're Blue UI? I mean, unless you have an ally dead, you pop second main, which a lot more circumstantial than not. And that doesn't last forever, that neutral, right? And it also can't be canceled. So if you do a blue card, it's canceled. He's a Super Gogeta victim. So like, yeah, that is accurate. His best offense, blue unit right now. But even then, like, what does that matter when a green is so oppressive? Does he even matter at that point? I would say no. I mean, that's how I
He's
perceive
the
him.
only one
Yeah,
carrying that weight.
I think UI is pretty good. The only issue here is, I mean, Gogeta is every match, or if he's not in every match, he's in like 90% of matches.
Yes.
Gogeta
that's,
touches this guy once, and he takes like
Yeah.
his entire health bar.
Like, does
and
Blue
then-
UI even coexisting
so,
even
as
matter
long as you're able
when
to
Super
avoid
Gogeta's in the
that,
game?
He's good.
Who's in
but
most games.
It's just like he gets
Probably
like,
not.
literally one.
That's why
shot.
I can't
And
put him
also, don't
anywhere
forget
with like
Gogeta has
an A
endurance
thing.
Also, it could be a little
Not
rough,
even that.
but I'm kind of leaning like S, low S, high A. But I'm gonna put him in S, and if we want to move him later, we can.
Yeah.
All right,
I
you're
think
up next.
a more relevant unit would
Okay.
be more.
Let's go with
Baseline
let's
here.
go with purple Super Saiyan 3 Kid GT Goku.
Okay,
Man,
you can start.
man, between the two, who's better, Blue UI or Super Saiyan 3 GT? That's a genuine tough question because I don't know why you'd run either of them right now. I guess UI, but like the bar's in hell, bro. Neither of these units you're gonna run into basically ever. I mean, you run into Blue UI more, I guess, but even then, like
Okay,
the bar's in
I
hell,
am
man.
probably
Also,
going to
no way
put
are you gonna
him
pick the Super Saiyan
in
3 to pick
B.
first. No way.
B. Okay.
Yeah, I put him in B mainly because we have some
Squishy.
strong yellow characters out in the meta right now. He unfortunately is out of the featured boost, and even when he was in featured boost, he was still getting clobbered. But characters like Janemba that have astronomical amounts of damage inflicted, you know,
So
you can't
because they're
really
not doing a
afford-
top 10, it's much more freeness, I guess, on speaking of. So when, I can like understand a point or something, I'm just gonna like move on to the next unit just to make it more, because I've done these reactions and some of them are long reactions, so they're still talking about them. Yeah, again, I agree basically to the point of it. So we'll just move on here until the next character, which would be whoever
Let's do
the hell
full
this
power
is.
Frieza.
Full power Frieza.
Okay.
Man,
I'm gonna
Barb.
do full power. I'm gonna put full
All
power
three
Frieza
of
in
these,
S.
bro.
I don't think he.
All three of them. The
You could
bars
probably
in
make an
hell.
argument that he doesn't pierce the top echelon of S. We'll probably get into some more S, like solid to high
He's like
S
a
characters later.
Mid-low?
Power Freeze
Not
is
like the
probably
lowest, but
somewhere
like a mid-low?
maybe low S.
Yeah.
I think he's still good. Still
Again,
has some
if
of
I
the
agree with
longest
the
combos
point,
in
I'm
the
just gonna
game.
move forward because again, there's no debate to be had or anything. It's just I agree with the point. The point would be that Frieza is worse off now because he's not the most ideal damage, not ideal teams, but he's still very good because his stalling potential within his silliness that he has.
Let's pick one of the more. Let's go with
Not Super OG, surely.
an obvious one. Let's just go with Blue 13.
I thought that was middle cooler.
Oh, easy C tier.
Thank you. I agree, Goresh. Thank you.
I think it goes without saying Android 13
Let me hear the reasonings for Z.
runs the meta. Not in the sense that he's oppressing everybody, but in the sense that he is the glue that keeps all of these teams together.
Yes, he is a very good glue.
The most valuable character. And funny enough, Legends knows that too. That's why they made that funny little pickup banner that had for the World Tournament thing.
Yep.
He's just everything between the ceiling on the blast cards, that one-time significant disrupt, the sub-count manipulation, the key, the cards, the support. He is just the jack of all trades, master of making any team just go another level above. Every dominant team in the game revolves around him. If you see powerful opponent, he's there. If you're looking,
Every dominant team in the game requires him. Does that sit the same way as Revolve? Depends the way you describe Revolve. The planets revolve around the sun, right? The sun being the main priority of the world to where the coexistence of everything exists. Everything's revolving around that. To that degree of reliance, is that accurate to 13? No, it's just more a levity allowance, I guess you'd say. Also, I think my AirPods just told me put this lower, but no thank you, AirPods, I'm here. I get the notion of 13. I do. I agree 13 is one of the best units in the game. But nothing revolves around him. It's more the units just prefer. I don't think any requirement is, because what is really the difference between a 13 to a Namek Goku? Like, wholeheartedly. A little bit less support, but more damage. It's a tit for tat. You're trading off. And that's really what that becomes at the end of the day. And no red reel dropped, so what's really going to stop Mr. OG Ultra Namek, the yellow, from being a similar vibe to 13? Obviously, it's worse because the less support. But I think it's a tit for tat thing there. It's not just 13's the ruler of all and, controlling all the planets together type shit. I don't think that's it.
looking at
I don't
honestly
see that.
any version
No way.
of a team, odds are people have him either on the leader saw or as part of the core lineup, just because movies are seeing
Same thing people have for
significant
Namek
power.
Goku.
So Z tier for
But
me,
Namek
Android
Goku is
13,
not as
tremendous
revered as
value.
this, which is
Yeah,
it's
I mean, I
interesting.
don't know if I need to really add much to it.
Despite more
It's
damage.
just-
And not too
I
far.
think
Like
you said it
25%
perfectly. It's the
less
most
support. It's
valuable
not that
character in the
bad.
game. He doesn't carry matches on his own, but I mean,
Red Pan, Green
is kind of like
Patos, all that shit. That's what he
it
is.
almost feels like a Red Pan situation, but like on steroids. Because like he can do good damage.
Because the
still. Like this
safety,
guy still
yes.
does good damage. Like he has the ability to lock in Namek Goku and just kill him with a blue very easily. Lock in Red Ultra Goku, kill him with a blue.
Red Ultra. I don't care if it's negative or positive. Red Ultra Goku. Referred
kills
to.
Dragon
Oh,
Balls,
my goat.
Seals,
My goat always gets
disrupts,
talked about. He's
has
good.
the best support in the game.
Crazy.
Healing. I mean, it's just insane. This guy's insane.
You know, it's a good,
easy tier.
you know, it's a good way to put it. If you know, like you said, he's not going to be the one carrying the team, but if you don't have him on your team and you face him, you can feel it. You feel.
He doesn't need other units. Other units need him.
Yeah, you could feel the disadvantage you're at by not having him on your team. He just is you know, the glue for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Yes, but don't you? I just like comparing it to Namek Goku because I feel like it's the easiest one because again, it's a similar role, right? One's more damage, one's more support, but at the end of the day, they kind of fulfill a similar vibe of here's a safety precautionary, here's support alongside with it, here's okay damage from one and great damage from the other. I feel as though there's always comparison between the two. Yeah, 13 is on most teams on a leader slot. It's just because he is giving the most juice. Is it? I wonder why Namek Goku isn't as revered as this, though. Because I see OG the whole time. The Ultra Namek Goku from 7th year was not talked about as this dialect of, like, the necessity role. Even though he was the guy you would keep running into in leader slot every single time, he wasn't revered in this same mannerism. So I'm curious why it's different. If it really is just the 25% support when this guy's gauge is filled, compared to Namek Goku support, that he gets the same thing when he empties his gauge, or rather gets his gauge. But then you could exchange the damage from Namek Goku to 13, and then that could be as valuable as him, and then Namek Goku's lock-in could be more valuable, and is more valuable in 13 sub-count thing. And then you could also argue that, I guess CMZ in the match, you know, Namek Goku loses some value, but then Super Gogeta is in matches, so this guy loses. I feel like there's just more of a competition between the two than I ever hear. And calling 13, you know, necessity, I think is understandable. I don't agree, but I get the notion. It's just, if you don't have 13, right, Namek Goku is not the worst thing in your entire life. They might be not that close to one another, but in a totality of individual one-to-one, they really are kind of like a similar vibe. Yes, 13 can allow more greatness for your allies and faster, but safety-wise, wouldn't you have preference? If you want safety, wouldn't you have preference? People are talking about Metal Cooler sometimes. That safety presence within Metal Cooler, people are talking about the entire time. Well, Namek Goku would give that more than 13 would, so I feel like there's just, again, a little bit of a tit for tat they can have that people really don't discuss much at all.
That's easy.
If you mention 13, you should mention Namek Goku. It's
I'm gonna
similar
go with
vibe.
Red Namek Goku.
Ooh, my goat.
Where would you put Red Namek Goku? I
love him. S.
Actually
S. Not high,
he does a
but
lot
S.
of damage. It's like a lot of damage. He might be one of the hardest hitting units in the game.
Literally second.
Units in the game.
He has the second highest damage inflicted behind Super Gogeta, and it's right there.
All he does,
literally right there.
Right?
That's all he does, but he does it well. My goat.
I'm gonna put him in low S for now.
I did the same thing. Yeah, I did the exact same thing.
My goat,
and
of course.
even though he's not the most technical character, I actually think minus 15 key is a bit of an underrated way of.
It's very good against the synchro.
He's essentially Red Pan Unlimited, and in this meta, there's various ways of protecting your combo potential. You know, people got protect cards, they force draw cards. They have wide varieties of ways of getting cover null and whatnot, but not a lot of people have key protection. It's just one of the few ways that you can still comfortably disrupt a lot of characters. And I think the bulk that he has, him being in the A tier boost, and continuously reducing 15 key while also healing when he shows up on the field, I think his disrupt might not be that bad. And the damage he does, like you said, he is one of the hardest hitting characters in the game. But man, it does stink that this guy does not have blast armor anywhere.
No, I agree.
No card draw speed.
That's why he can't be higher. Yeah, you could barely like cope. I cope him top 10, right? Because he hits like regardless of what he's missing, he hits so hard, I got to be able to cope in top 10. That's just how I perceive him after using him for however many matches and videos I did. But, yeah, no, I wish he had better. Obviously, he could always be better. A lot of units can have the same thing. Talked about them. I mean, shit, look at LF Janemba. There's a lot you could say, I wish he was better in this than the other. Well, Namegoku, same thing. But the damage that he does... my goat. We move on here. Because obviously I understand what they're talking about and what they're saying, and I agree to a degree of it. So, just move on to the next unit.
Barking this time.
Okay.
Where would you put the 40th anniversary DB Red Gohan?
Red Gohan.
Yeah, he's peaking A, and
This is
he's
a
most
tricky
likely
one.
B. I really don't like this
I'm
unit at all.
probably going to stick him in B for
Okay,
now.
yeah. I don't care about this unit, and I don't like this unit, because I just think he works so inopportunely with his team. I mean, Manga Goku, Tambourine, Jackie Chun, I think is more mixed, but Kid Ku as well. They're mostly strike-based, and this guy is a blast unit who spawned blast cards as well, and it's like, you're not meant to be here, bro. Like, you are literally just weird on this team. I've never liked him on the team. If he had a more blast-based team, sure. That didn't exist for DB. He was always just a weird guy. I didn't care to fight him and struggle. He was just always kind of a nuisance just to be on a team with his, teammates, and he wasn't meant to be there, so I don't give two shits about him. I could just move on from him because, well, again, he doesn't mean much now. He didn't mean much then either.
Per team.
Is my opinion.
All right. I am going to go with the sparking as well. Let's go with the new Gotenks. Super Saiyan Gotenks.
Frankly,
Oh,
I might put him C.
This is an
I
interesting
put him
one.
I could pity
gonna
a
put
B.
Gotenks.
I really don't. Who's a C tier here?
Oh god, there's like a bug on the website where like the I clicked him and he went. I think he went all the way down to the bottom. Yeah. Oh my god, he went all the way down to the bottom. I'm gonna put Gotenks in like low B. I think he barely makes it into B tier. I don't even know. Are we?
Gotenks has never made an impact in my matches, and he never will. Moving on. I don't care what Gotenks is.
Option.
He's
If
asked to
you're trying
me.
Look up a movie saga team and you don't happen to have 13. I mean, what else are you gonna run with the Gogeta and the Janemba? Odds are it's good old Gotenks, and I guess it's okay with the second life, the green card that he provides. The
I'd rather a Metal Cooler than
guys.
Gotenks.
So although he's not an exceptional
really would.
character, I think he's almost saved because of the little few things that he can do. So I put him low A for that reason. I don't think he's
Raiden's a very generous
totally
person.
unusable.
I've learned
There's
from
appeal in certain
some
aspects
tier
of his
lists,
kit that I
which,
think
hey, do your
are
thing.
worthy of praise.
I am not as
Okay.
generous and clearly not
Low A
correct.
for me.
All right, you get to pick one now.
Okay, let's see. I
Metal Cooler.
want to go. I want to go with an interesting one here. Let's go with Kefla. I don't know how far back you want to go with, but
Yeah, I think Kefla definitely deserves to be on here. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Kefla
you get to
goes-
place her first. This is gonna be one that I
Super
think
Saiyan 3 really is a baseline for a lot of this shit.
I might.
Below Super Saiyan
I
3.
think I'm going to put her
Mid
in
A?
B, to be honest.
Okay.
High B, and a big reason for it is she suffers from the faults of some of these other characters, but she is similar in that she follows the design philosophy. She feels more of a glass cannon-esque character, and she
Her existence doesn't matter is the issue. Like, Kefla dropped, Frieza was still being run. Okay, Frieza stopped being run, well now here's Super Gogeta. Like, green and then another green. What does Kefla give to the table that Frieza didn't give or Super Gogeta doesn't give? Okay, nothing, right? Fusion Warrior was always kind of hazy until both MZs got their buffs of the new CMZ and the new, or rather, LFMZ's getting his plat. So, okay, well, we just run 13 there, run Namegoku lead, or run whatever the fuck, run Metal Cooler, like, who gives a fuck, right, at this point? So there was never a time and place for her to be idealized and just, if she is the force focus, well, you just have better force focuses that coexisted around her. She's kind of just a weird one. I mean, Super Saiyan 3 and her are very weird. They both were pretty good on initial release. And then here's Super Saiyan 3 falling off a cliff because, well, GT's not good enough as a trio. And then Kefla has a similar vibe where she just doesn't really have anywhere. Like, okay, Kefla, USV, and whatever the third was at that point, which really didn't coexist. But it was just kind of a copium third. That team was okay. It wasn't godly. It was okay. It was maybe like a 5th, 6th best team. And Kefla's only been on a downward spiral from there. So, like, new philosophy, sure. Maybe just a higher degree of it would be nicer. Because, again, look at Mr. Namek Man right here. He has a very similar vibe to Kefla, just very, not glassy, but just damage, essentially. Okay, well, the free-to-play unit's above the Sunnable LF that dropped a few months ago, right? So, if they just gave her more offense, similar to Namagoku and as simple as Namagoku, probably would have just been better off right now. Like, you'd have a reason to run her over Frieza at that point because she would have had more offense than Frieza, but Frieza would have had more extension value. And then once USV dropped, you could obviously debate the Kefla, usage more, but at the end of the day, you just didn't need her because these greens already coexisted and they were just dropping like fucking flies. You drop 6 billion fucking greens so fast, all right? And they're on Kefla for a minute here. Holy guacamole, all right.
Okay.
This is an interesting one too. I probably would go.
Oh boy.
It's either low
Is it
S
Tin
or
Boy?
high A for me.
Puddle.
I'll stick him in high A for now, and if I have to move him, I will. He's obviously really good on future.
Bottom top 10,
mainly.
arguably top 10.
But you can kind of throw, like, you can make
I mean, this is how I'd assume this would go, right? The top 5 is in Z. Number 5 through 10. 1 through 5 is Z. 6 through 10 is an S. And then whatever else, the high A's are all debatable top 10, right? Whether it be Puddle Boy, again, UI I assume would move down because I don't think he's debatable in it. Frieza, sure. UI, I don't think so. Honestly, between the two, I mean, I would have Puddle probably debating top 10 over UI at this point. But yeah, no, it would just be 1 through 5, 6 through 10, and then here's like 11 through 14, 15 at that point. Though it's not meant to be a top 10, it would just inevitably, you will see 10 units, and you probably think, okay, those are still the top 10 units in the game. Despite this being a tier list and not a top 10 list, you would just still see that. Again, Puddle, I can get this, making him barely top 10, barely not. Would be in an A tier, high A tier, would be barely not top 10 / recognizable top 10, if anything, to discuss further beyond that. Let me hear who's next, though.
Interesting. Where would you go with Red Kaioken Goku?
I was looking at him too.
Yeah, he's for me.
He's relevant enough to talk about.
Difficult one to gauge.
That's crazy
right now. Like he has a lot of strong little quirks, but I'm just thinking. There's not a lot of dominant.
I really don't. I don't think so.
Solar Flare is really strong, but
I guess he'd be above Gotenks and
his.
Go on.
I have noticed that his disruptive abilities is not as strong. When it comes to his teams as well, I think I'm gonna have to put him at low A.
Yeah, for me,
put him at low A.
For me, it's either low A or high B. I think.
Yeah.
Reminder, Kaioken was on par with Ultras when it was on Boost.
This is the definition of a character that's just like good. Like he's not bad, he's not great, he's just good.
Yeah, no one would really scratch their head and be like, why are you running him? It would be more so like, all right, Kaioken Goku. I'm not intimidated.
Oh no, pal. No. Oh no, I scratch my head any time a Kaioken's even in my vicinity. No. If you're running Kaioken, I'm thinking, wow, you must not want to win this match. And 9 times out of 10, they don't win that match. No, he's a boost merchant. I mean, that's just the simplest way to call him. I guess if I'm going to, gun to my head, we're going to put Kaioken Goku on a tier list. Sure, let's put him in the realm of, I don't know, 20 to 25 area, I guess. Does it really mean anything? No, he's not. What matters is the top 4, right? That's just the end of the day what matters. And this guy is, 25 places below that. Does he ever have any relevance? No. Will he ever have relevance again? Probably not. There's no reason to ever run, look at Namek-Goku and then look at Kaioken. Is there really ever going to be a reason to run Kaioken over a UV4 Namek-Goku? No, most likely not. I'm glad he's better than 1%, even though one's the fucking newest, I guess. That's good. But he's just a nothing factor. I don't even care about discussing him further because he's such a nothing in every regard. If you run Kaioken, I don't think you want to win. I think you want to lose your matches on purpose. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but from my experience, it's more accurate than not.
Sure.
Okay, let's go with...
Show me an Ultra.
Ultra Cell.
Oh, I was looking at him too. I'm sorry,
Cell.
dude. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, let me hear this.
I haven't
You roll enough to discuss.
used him a ton. Actually, I think I've used him at all since Legends Fest started. Ultra Cell. I do like Ultra Cell.
Above Kaioken. Like, this is what I mean. What is this? What does this bottom
I
area
think
even
I'm actually
matter?
gonna put him in.
Is this like copium to be like, yeah, there's so many relevant units that matter right now? We're talking about Kaioken and Cell back to back, bro. Kefla, like, runnable and meta relevant. They are not equal. They are not equal. This would be their equal. They are not equal. Meta relevant and copable to runnable. Same thing. Come on. Come on. Cell? Kaioken? Come on. Come on. It's a little bit of gassing at this point.
Okay.
Like, kind of next to GT Super Saiyan 3. I don't. Who's probably he's probably not as good as GT Super Saiyan 3. The reason why I have him here, and this might be higher than some other people have him, but Namek Goku has gained a lot of value since Fest started, and obviously that means Cell would gain value as well, right? I don't think
Is that
there's
the
a
only
ton
reason?
Again, like I've been saying the whole time, this is something that's been the case for a while. There's no like really hard hitting blue characters that would really like.
Respectfully to Cell here, I simply do not care to discuss Cell. This unit's not relevant enough to discuss, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna move on from it. Who's next?
I don't know. He has some good damage, but he just gets decimated. You don't even need a hyper powerful blue character to hurt Cell. Cell just.
Oh, we're still on him.
destroys
Holy shit!
people on him anywhere.
Things. The first one, like you said,
It's full gauge, but isn't that only when the gauge?
Wow, we're still on Cell.
Where would
Jesus,
you put
that's a topic,
Super
huh?
Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Ultra Super Saiyan 4
Thank you,
Vegeta?
thank you, Raiden.
yeah,
Super
this is
Saiyan
like
4
an
Vegeta.
easy mid to high S.
Yeah.
I'd have him.
same thing.
Surely the top of S.
So hold on. I think right now, out of all
Surely.
the characters that I have in S, I can't like move them around. It's kind of actually hard to move stuff around here. I would put
Yeah,
him
I
at
can't.
the top of S
Okay,
for the characters that I have right now.
obviously, agree
Yeah.
to that.
So right now, the order of my characters in S tier
UI is
would
that
be
high?
Vegeta,
Oh, never mind.
Star
Okay.
Frieza, Red Namek Goku, or no, UI then Red Namek Goku.
Yeah.
UI above it.
You know what? It's a good thing that you say that because guaranteed some people are going to screenshot this and be like, hey, what are your thoughts on this? And they're going to be like, what? That's the order? What you...
Interesting. Yeah, UV4 at the top of S. I mean, again, I consider UV4 this 5-6, most likely 5 just because he has such individualness that's so great and above beyond basically most units in the game right now. So that individuality paired with the mediocre teams that he has compared to the godly teams and the amount of teams others have, it lowers him because of that team thing, but it heightens him because individual is so high. So he kind of goes in a lower bracket, but not a low bracket. So, a middle of a top 10, essentially, which is exactly what a secondary tier would be, the top tier. And then here's just a little bit below, not because they're worse, but because their teams are worse or the individual's worse, but then their team is still very good. Depends the unit. Obviously, UV4 is amazing individual, and then more subpar teams than the top tiers of the game, obviously, there. So move on to the next one here. Again, if I can agree or just the unit's not worth discussing, then that's where we move on to the next topic, essentially, which we are on this right
One
here.
small asterisk, and a lot of these ultras are not like, oh, great, I gotta fight this guy again. It would have been more understandable. A lot of metas could have been avoided if they just gave it a little bit of extra thought. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, I think we could do one more each, and then we can cut this part, and we can move on to part 2 on your channel.
Sure.
I'll do the Gammas. LF Gamma 1 and 2 is my pick here.
I'm gonna move on to the next pick, respectfully, of course. Damn. I mean, it doesn't matter outside the top 10, basically. Again, I don't think anything outside top 10 really is meta relevant. I don't think everything in the top 10 is meta relevant. Like, maybe top 7 peaking. Like, I'm really being nice when I say top 7. Damn, the gammas are high, though. I thought they'd be, like, I guess, bro, that entire tier of A is just shit. Besides Puddle, like, even then, Puddle's just not great right now. He's not ideal, I guess you could say. That entire tier of A is just... Again, I don't think these are meta-relevant units in any regard. Meta-relevant means you would run into something that's meta often, right? Or often enough to, like, get a perception of them of your own. you're not getting your perception of Catfla, Kaioken, Cell. You're not getting a perception of them because you're not fighting them. Meta relevant be something that is literally used often enough to get an idea of these units in A, no, B, no, S, yes. Yes, I run into Namek, Goku, Frieza, UI, probably UI and Frieza the least, but UB4, yeah, I run into them. A, I mean, the most I run into would be Puddle at this point. All right, so let's move on to the last unit they have here, which I am curious. Oh, Metal Cooler.
Post buff, Purple Metal Cooler. Where do you rank him?
Okay, like the meme answer is C. But like legitimately, I actually think this guy is like high B.
Yeah.
He's like just higher than Gotenks and Gohan, like the 40th anniversary Gohan for me. The problem with this character, and I've mentioned this so many, I'm not gonna go into like a ton of detail about this because I've mentioned this so many times. This character, they can't just fix him by buffing his stats. They could, but they would have to give him like 150% damage.
Even I clearly dislike Metal just a little bit, dislike Metal Cooler. Clearly. But dog, I don't know. Ultra Cell unless he got a fucking third on his team, bro. Like Kaioken's a fraud. Cell doesn't have a fucking third on his team. I get Metal Cooler is not a primary option, but like this is like a little bit above and beyond hatred.
This character is designed is you can't really make a balanced character that is a defensive type character with 3 lives. It doesn't work because either the character is best character in the history of the game, or they're just bad, right? And unfortunately, this character was just bad. I would rather, if they're gonna go with a character with 3 lives, I would actually rather they be bad than insane. Think about how annoying the game would be if you had this guy in every match. You have to go through 3 lives every single match. It would actually suck.
I agree with this notion.
I'm kind of happy this guy sucked.
Can you imagine if they gave him the Gotenks Disrupt? It's like every third card, just that would be he would be a character that could really leverage that. But I would throw my phone out the window if I had to fight that.
No.
He's just not like I don't. There's no way to make him good with a buff unless he needed a rework instead of a buff. That's what he needed. Yeah. He needed his kit to be like reworked.
That's the whole issue with that's the whole thing though. That's what he's saying. He needed a rework. Well, if he got a rework, he would. Bro, this unit, he's right with that. This unit really is such an easy unit to be best in the game because he has damage that's equal, not even as good, but equivalent enough to like to a Kefla. Not even anything crazy. To a Kefla or like a Puddle after some hits taken, or Super Saiyan to GT Goku. He would be the best unit in the game, no matter what. No matter how many yellows, he would still be the best because of his tedious nature and his damage actually being competent. So him actually getting just this little buff, like they clearly understand they can make him God. They just don't want to like usurp their own units. You know, you already have, here's the Legends Fest units not getting the top 1, top 0 treatment sometimes like they do. They probably just don't want to usurp their own units at this point. Like they clearly understand that they can make this guy broken with just a Go Frieza kind of rework. They probably just don't want that to happen. Like, what's their incentive? It's not going to make more money. It's Metal Cooler. Please, let's be serious for a second. Metal fucking Cooler. As well as, again, people already own the units or they don't. They're not going to summon more for a fucking Metal Cooler. Especially because he just returned. I mean, are you going back on a banner from Metal Cooler? Even if he is God, you got part 2, bro. Part 3. People were going to assume part 2 and 3 is going to be better. Despite even if the unit got buffed like that, you were just auto-assume part 2 and 3 is going to be better. And I mean, I assume that. So, even as someone that would want more stars, I would still think just keep it as it is because I got enough of them, or if I don't have them at all, part 2 and 3 should exceed him. If it doesn't, but it most likely would be the assumption. So again, they wouldn't make that much money even on it.
It's not realistic for them to do.
Business.
I actually don't even understand why they buffed him because they couldn't make him to what he needed to be from a buff. They were better off just buffing someone else than Metal Cooler. Like it just, I feel like it was a waste of time. He's better obviously now than he like. Honestly, him being in high B is pretty high praise because he would have before his buff he wouldn't even have been on this list. He would have been in below C tier. He was really bad. But at below least now with his higher damage guard, he doesn't take 11 million damage from a blue, right? So at least you have a fighting chance to at least win on damage because most of the time when you're using this character in your team, you're either winning by damage or just barely squeezing out the win at the end of the timer. But I just this.
Well, this is an interesting baseline tier list again. Top 10s are just easier to get more, you go more details, right? It's only 10 characters you're talking about here. Here's already, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever, almost like 20 characters probably going to be like near 30 characters on this list at the end of the day when they do both parts together. I mean, there's not much that's like, I always think UI gets kind of like an over or undervalue every single time I ever see him on a tier list is the thing for him. Like I get it, the dodging, the stalling, and some people value that a lot more. Some people don't value that as much. I just think the victimization he has from Super Gogeta, sure. I mean, you want to put him above free-to-play Goku, whatever, up to you. I would just say, I mean, realistically, he's below Puddle to me. It's not even that close. I just think how victimized he can be. And true, Puddle can be victimized as well. But even then, at least he's doing support. He's doing some disrupts. He's doing the cancel buff effect. There's more to Puddle than just that one dimension that he has of good damage and support. He has good damage and support. That's 2 dimensions. And he has some disruptions, better disruptions than UI, obviously, because you always destroy 2 cards unless there means card destruction, which you would know that because you're fighting them so often. These units, again, if they're meta, you would know what they do. Gammas are very high. I mean, again, I just don't think anything outside of Z and S matter. This is meant to be a meta tier list, and I just don't think any unit that's outside of Z and S would be meta. Like, again, top 10 is not even full meta. It's less than 10 units that are meta in this game right now. 13, UV4, CMZ, MZ, Super Gogeta. You want to cope Janemba a little bit, go for it. You want to cope, I guess name it Goku more than Janemba, right? So that's 6, and that's 7 then. That's it. I mean, who else from that list? Even then, I'm kind of coping by saying Janemba, so it's probably just like 6 of them. But that's meta relevant. And UV4 is like on the lower spectrum because his run rate is very much lower than the others, but what he does when he is run is so impactful that, it is relevant enough. So, again, I get the premise of this kind of tier list. It's just more open to interpretation, but what matters more, at least if you're trying to win and make meta, is only like 6 units. At best 7. That's all. Interesting list. Nothing like crazy again. I think Metal Cooler is like a little overheated by Koresh because I think he expected more. It's an LOE, fan. So I think he wanted more, but then if you get too much, then it's a weird like dichotomy for that. And I think that's just what that is there. So I think he kind of like, I don't know if it's a resentment, but I mean, to a degree, probably is a resentment of like, well, my tag unit is not like, as good as XYZ left that dropped. And, it's annoying sometimes. Overall, though, let me know what you guys think of this part 1 list here and my reaction to it. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm glad my opinion has finally arrived.